All right, we are live. Welcome everyone to today's webinar on how to get more remodeling clients with Facebook ads. Webinar with me, Gavi Zeitlin. So what we're going to be covering today is the following. This webinar is going to go like this. We're going to talk about how to uncover the huge opportunity to use Facebook for finding remodeling clients. And I think it's also just important to clarify, we're not talking about making a Facebook page in this webinar. We're talking about using Facebook's extremely sophisticated ad platform to be able to target in on very specific markets, to be able for you to be able to find exactly the people who are looking to remodel right now, and we can use their platform with pinpoint precision to be able to segment out our market and be able to market to them properly. We're going to talk about how to use marketing psychology that makes your prospect think that you're the best contractor in their area and choose you when they're ready to hire a contractor. Overall, we're going to be going through a complete Facebook ads marketing strategy, something that you can walk away with by the end of this webinar and work with today. In addition to the overall Facebook ad strategy, we're going to be talking about what we call the second stage foundation marketing system that none of your competitors are using. And this is something that by itself could literally 4 times your business. I know that none of your competitors are using it because the Remodeler's Advantage says that less than 10% of remodeling companies are using this marketing strategy with their marketing. And at the end of the webinar, we will cover a Q&A. We'll have a Q&A sessions if you have any questions that we can that I can address. Also, if you stay on to the end of the webinar, I'll tell you how you can get a customized Facebook marketing plan for your business for free by the end of the webinar. If you haven't done so already, directly below the link or directly below the webinar page on the where the screen is on the webinar page, you can log in and you can ask me some questions and make your voice heard if you have anything you want known. This will be especially useful at the end of the webinar if you have any questions you want to ask me. So go ahead and log in with your name or your Twitter account or your Facebook account. So a little bit about me. My name is Gavi Zeitlin. I am a digital marketing consultant for the remodeling industry. I have been responsible for millions of dollars of sales for the companies I've worked for. I'm an Amazon #1 best-selling author. And if there's one thing that really kind of drives me is that I want to help growth-minded companies, remodeling companies, reach their goals with their marketing. And we're going to be showing you exactly how we do this on this webinar today and exactly how you can do it for your business as well. Now, it's also, I'm going to clarify exactly who this webinar is for. This webinar is for home, kitchen, and bath remodelers who are looking to grow their business. If you are not a kitchen, or a bath remodeler, or if you are and not looking to grow your business, then you're welcome to stay on the webinar. But you're not going to get as much. You'll probably still get something out of it, but probably not as much as we are specifically targeting that segment in this webinar today. All right, so now let's jump into, I think, what is the overall, just a minute, I'm getting some feedback that there's an issue with the video. Let's see what's going on here. Here we go. Okay, fine, it's working. Okay. Okay, fine. So let me kind of give you the framework of what we're going to be, the outline, I would say, of what we're going to be covering in today's webinar. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be building your marketing house, which is what I like to call it. So the marketing house works like this, okay? A house has 2 components to it. There's the actual house, and then there's the foundation that supports the house. So the house is what is visible. It's what people see when they come to your door. They see the door, they see the windows, they see the walls, and this is very much like the most advertising that people do with their business, right? They'll go out and they'll put up banners on the side of the highway. They'll put radio ads up, TV ads, the size of their truck, as well as online advertising. And this is something that people can come along, they can see. And then there's a second section of a building, which is the foundation. And the truth is about a foundation is that if you don't have a strong foundation, the house cannot support itself. So what we're going to be doing here as well is we're going to be talking about what we call the second stage marketing part of the system, which is your client generation system. Right? This house is compared to your inbound marketing, and we're going to be talking specifically about how you can do that with Facebook today. And then if you combine that with a strong foundation, which is your client generating system, again, the foundation is something people don't see, but without it, nothing else will stand up. All right, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. All right, and these also are some emails, okay? And I think the point also of building this marketing house, as we call it, the point of it is that we want to be generating leads for your business. And what you're looking at here are actually screenshots of emails that we've gotten for our clients using this exact system, right? So you can see that that people are responding, they're going through our marketing system, and they're coming back and they're asking questions about they're saying, when can I work with you? That's what these emails are designed to do. That's what the goal of this entire marketing system is to get people coming to you, sold on the idea of you, and wanting you to do the project for them, right? So imagine your inbox filling up, every single day with emails like this. That is exactly what we're trying to do, and that's the goal of what we're trying to teach on this webinar. Okay, so now let's jump into the first segment of the webinar, which is your inbound marketing, which is we're going to be covering Facebook. We're going to be building your marketing house. Okay, so let me ask you this question. Would you like to get in front of every single homeowner in your area who wants to do a remodeling or a building project? Right, of course you do. Well, Facebook is the best way to do this. Facebook is the most popular website on the planet. It has 1 billion active daily users, and those users are spending an average of 15 minutes per day on this website. Right? I would invite you to find a more engaged platform where you can market to your audience, particularly when you look at this last segment here, where Facebook allows you to target your clients, super target them, right? People in local areas, and you can use this to find homeowners who are looking to remodel their home now. It just makes it a great platform, and the overall opportunity works like this. Facebook allows you to target people, local clients, literally down to the zip code of the street that you serve, and you combine that with people in that area who are interested in remodeling their home, right, through Facebook's targeting platform, which I'm going to talk to you about how you can do on this webinar, and boom, you have local clients who are looking to remodel right now. Okay, this is the opportunity that you have with Facebook. The strategies we're going to be covering in today's webinar are the following. We're going to be covering, it's going to be 3 parts: the client targeting strategies. We're going to be going through the exact ads that you should be showing these people who you've segmented out, and then we're going through the exact landing page and offer that you should be showing them. Okay, it's a 3-step approach, and we're going to be covering everything in this first half of the webinar. Okay, now is the part where you're going to want to start taking notes, because we're going to get really into the training deep right now. Okay, very detailed. Okay, the first step, okay, going back to our 3-step process here, the first step is targeting, client targeting strategies. Okay, so it's going to work like this. I'm going to assume that you have a Facebook page already. If you don't, you can go to YouTube and you can download or you can watch tons and tons of videos on how to create a Facebook page. I'm not going to be showing you how to do that on this webinar. I'm going to assume you already know how to do that. But once you have a Facebook page already, what you'll do is you'll go to the drop down where it says Manage Ads, and it's going to take you to this page. Okay, now this page may look a little overwhelming. What do I click on? How do I design and set up my marketing system? And I'll make it very simple for you. Just click on this one that says Send People to Your Website. Okay, and that's what we're going to be doing. Now, after that screen, you're going to go to this screen. What this screen shows you is this is Facebook's targeting environment. Okay, and what you can see here is that this is completely unfiltered. We're now targeting every single person in the United States, all 191 million people of them. Now, this is not going to be so helpful for you as a local remodeler, because you want to be able to target people who live in your local area and also are interested in doing remodeling for their homes. Not people who are interested in other topics like yoga or dogs or whatever. So what we're going to do is we can use this platform to be able to kind of refine and narrow down our specific market. Okay, so what I've done here, okay, I'm from Baltimore, so I'm going to imagine that I'm a remodeling company in Baltimore, and these are the 4 area codes that the 4 zip codes that I serve. And you can see I'm now going to target every single person who lives within this zip code. And you can look on the right-hand side here. The reach here is now 160,000 people. Right, so 160,000 people who live in the areas that I serve. So I'm getting closer. Again, with marketing in general, you want to make sure it's relevant to your audience. So we're definitely getting closer to relevancy. But what Facebook actually allows you to do is take a step, even a step further. What you can do is right below the map area of this targeting section, you can go to detailed targeting, and you can start to segment people by what their interests are. Okay, so now what you've done is you segmented out people who live in your area, and what you'll do is you'll start typing in things that would indicate that the person is interested in remodeling their home, right? So remodeling my house, remodeling the house, home improvement, home renovations, right? So you'll fill out all of this, all the interests that are suggested around remodeling, and you'll fill that out. And what you'll just one point to be aware of over here is on the right-hand side there of this drop-down where it says interests. It will show up occasionally. It will say, remodeling, construction industry, and then it will say employer or employee or business owner. Don't select that because those are your competitors. You don't want to be showing your competitors your ads. You want to be showing potential clients your ads. So just don't select that. But everything else that's relevant, fill out the list of the detailed targeting. All right, so now we've done that, you can see that you've now combined people who are interested in doing remodeling as well as people in the area that you serve, and we now have a market of 2,000 people. Okay, now this 2,000 people may not seem like a lot, but I want you to realize that this is super, super targeted. We're setting up or segmenting out a group of people who want exactly the thing that you do and live in exactly the area that you serve. Okay, it's the best possible market you can go to for marketing, and Facebook is the best place to do that. All right, so after you have done that, you'll go down and you will, okay, so in terms of placements, what this shows you is where people are going to start seeing your ads. Generally, you can leave them all filled out. I would just recommend deselecting the audience network section because that's section is for people who are off of Facebook. Facebook allows people to advertise. You may have seen like mobile apps, they'll have advertisements on them and places like that. That type of marketing is better for people who are doing retargeting, which means that people come to your website and then leave it, but they now have a piece of code attached to their computer, and basically your ad will start following them around the internet. For new customers and for the goal that we're trying to do, we want to keep them kind of in the Facebook platform and get them there. And I find in terms of clicks, in terms of cost, that is the best way to do it. So that's my recommendation. From there, you'll go down, you'll want to set your daily budget. So here I just put out an arbitrary number, say $50 a day. You can go up, you can go down and test as needed to find out what works the best for you, and then leave everything else as standard. You're going to leave it as clicks to the website. That's what you're optimizing for. Everything else will remain automatic, and that's pretty straightforward in terms of targeting. So I want you to realize now what you've done in this first segment of this Facebook marketing strategy is you have now built a market segment that is exactly refined to you and your business, right? There's no one else who's going to see this, and you're able to actually find this this market and kind of extract them and be able to just do amazing things in terms of targeting, in terms of marketing to them. Okay, so now we're going to move into step 2, which is going to be actually creating the ad and what you're actually going to show these people that you've segmented out. Now, it's very important to realize that Facebook, or the strategy of advertising on Facebook, is very different than other advertising platforms. You have to think a little bit differently because Facebook has particular goals, and you want your advertising on their site to work with their goals. So what are Facebook's goals? Okay, well, their goal, like any other website really, is they want people to continue using their site, right? So if they are showing all of these ads to people all the time, more people are going to get annoyed by that, and less people are going to use the site. And I actually think a great example of this is literally just in the news yesterday, was that Yahoo was purchased by Verizon. And Yahoo is a great example of this compared to, let's say, something like Google, where Yahoo they were a platform where they were showing ads to everyone all over the place in their mail, in the people who are using their search engine, and it wasn't called for. And less people, and because of that, less people started using their site. Where something like Google completely changed their revenue strategy, and they're clearly the dominant search engine today. So Facebook wants to be more like Google. They want people staying on their site, and they want to be advertising them smartly, in ways that keeps them engaged on the website, right? So the way they do that is they want people to be sharing content, not advertising on their site. So again, this is something you can use to your advantage if you understand what Facebook's goals are. Also, people are not coming to Facebook to hire a remodeler. Right? People are coming to Facebook to consume content. They're not looking to do something. When people go to Google and they type in, home remodeling Baltimore, they are very specifically looking for a home remodeler in Baltimore. But in this case, they're not doing that on Facebook. So again, this may seem like a downtrend, but I'm going to show you this is actually an excellent thing for us and what we're planning on doing. Right? So the way you can leverage this is by creating ads that sell education and not services. Okay, because again, what people are looking to do is they want to be educated, they want to read, they want to watch videos, they want to they're interested in various things, and clearly they've told Facebook they're interested in remodeling their homes, so therefore we're going to provide them exactly what they want, which is content that helps them remodel their home in the best possible way. Again, with the right strategy, you will get amazing results from Facebook. Okay, so now the goal of this ad is the following. We're not necessarily going after, we're not going after the people who are right now calling contractors saying, hey, can you give me a quote to come over and remodel my kitchen? What we're trying to do is appeal to a wider audience, not people who are buying right now, and we do that with what we call a zero friction offer. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to be attracting prospects that want to be educated. And what's interesting is that this actually makes the best clients. It's a much harder sell for a guy, for a homeowner who says, hey, I'm going to call 3 remodelers and have them come over and do an estimate, and then I'm going to call them back and say, hey, well, this guy says he's going to charge this amount, and this guy says he's going to charge this amount, and then basically you're in a bidding war with all these other people. That's a very different world to play in versus somebody who says, hey, I'm interested in doing a remodeling project in my home in the next few months. I want to know everything possibly that I can to make sure that I'm going to get the best results for my money. And I make sure that I hire the best contractor, that I use the best materials, et cetera, et cetera. This is someone who's waiting to be educated. So if you're the person who can come and give them the education, that is the best way to actually get a client. And they're actually going to wind up being better clients. Now, again, the goal of the ad also is you're going to give this content in exchange for an email address. Okay, the point is that you're not selling on Facebook. The selling is going to happen off of Facebook, and you're going to wind up getting much better results with your marketing. Okay, and again, the goal of Facebook is not even to send people to a landing page, and we'll talk about this in more depth in a little bit. It's not to send people to a landing page where you're asking for a free consultation now. Okay, again, I see that actually a lot with contractors. You can actually get a much wider audience if you do what we're going to talk about in this webinar. Okay, so now we're going to go into the nitty-gritty of actually building this ad. Okay, so you're going to go to Facebook, go to the Create Ad section. Again, it's very simple. What you're going to do is just go to the free stock images area on Facebook, and you'll go there and just put in the words remodeling. Okay, and for this specific ad, which I'll show you in a second, all you're looking for is just a really nice home. Something that, again, that's going to attract the attention of your potential buyer. If he's looking to remodel his home, a picture of a nice looking home is going to capture his attention. And that's the goal when you're selecting an image for this ad. Okay, and here is what the ad looks like. Okay, looking to remodel your home in Baltimore. Free download to ensure that your remodeling job comes in on time, on budget, and exactly how you want it. Now, who's going to be interested in this ad? Someone who's looking to remodel their home in Baltimore, okay? And it's very specific, very targeted. It's almost like you're speaking to them, because obviously the person who's being fed this ad doesn't know how sophisticated you're targeting him. And he's going to feel like, wow, this is exactly the perfect ad with a perfect piece of information for me. And it's also targeting specifically the thing that he wants to know is how can I make sure that I get the best possible job done and hire the best remodeler for my remodeling project, which I'm going to be doing, whenever. So that's ad number one. And again, this ad is actually something that we use with our clients. And this is exactly it. You can copy this. I take a screenshot of this ad. This is exactly the ad. Obviously, you'll change the city for whatever your city is, but you can copy and paste this exact ad as is. This is a second ad that also works very well. This one appeals kind of more to the fear. It's more of a fear-based marketing tactic. And again, the image grabs their attention, and again, and it provides a very simple solution to help them solve the issue. One of the fears they may have is someone just totally wrecking their house. And you ask the question, you don't want your remodeling job to look like this. Here are 5 things to know to make sure you hire the best contractor possible. Download the free guide. And again, the goal here is you want to get them to the point where they're giving you their email address, right? Notice we're not branding this here, okay? Because as soon as you brand this, the red light goes off in their head that says, oh, he's trying to sell me something, which is not what we're trying to do here. We want to get to the point where we get the email address, and that's when the selling starts, after we kind of have them on our own platform, where we're not spending money every single time that we're serving an ad to someone. Also, we're going to be appealing to a much wider audience with this ad versus somebody who's buying right now. Again, imagine if the ad takes someone to a landing page that says, here's some free consultation. Oh, well, I'm not actually consultation. Will be in 2 to 3 weeks, but right now I'm not, and he leaves. Versus if he comes to a landing page that's offering information like this, it's going to appeal to him much more, and you're more like, again, going to get him in the, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. You're going to get him into your marketing automation system, and you'll be able to follow up with him in that 2, 3, 4, 5 week period afterwards when he is ready to hire someone. Okay, I'll go into detail of that. I jumped the gun a little bit. I'll go into detail of that in a little bit with the second half of this webinar. Okay, fine. So now we've covered targeting strategies, how you can literally find every single person in your area who's looking to remodel their home, and again, down to the zip codes that you serve. And we showed you the ad, and now we're going to show you the third step, which is taking you from that ad to what landing page and offer do you give them. Okay, again, the ad we're showing them is very content-based, and it's very broadly based versus, here, we're great contractors, we remodel this person's home, hire us. Okay, again, people aren't interested in that. They're interested in themselves and what their issues are. And if you use your marketing properly, you'll be able to get a much wider attention gap from these people. Okay, so the landing page, by the way, is actually where a lot of people mess up. Okay, again, this is where people start to want to throw everything out. Okay, here's my phone number. Call me for a free consultation. Or in a worst case scenario, some people actually won't even send them to a landing page. They'll just send them to the regular website. And the problem with that, by sending to their website, is that you go to a website, all of a sudden I'm presented with a million things. I can look at your testimonials, I can look at your gallery, but I'm not ready to, okay, I'm overwhelmed, I'm leaving. Okay, that's not what we want them to do. We want to bring them to a very clear, very narrow marketing path. Again, once we have the email address, that's when we start saying to the website, we start saying to our house page or our Facebook page. Again, that's how we start engaging them on a broader level. But until this point, our goal is to get the email address. So one thing also to mention here, okay, is that there's a concept, I heard this from a guy called Alex Becker. He calls it, the advertising concept works like this. It's want pizza, get pizza. Okay, if someone wants pizza, you give them pizza. In this case, if someone wants a free guide that shows them how to hire the best contractor, when they click on that, you want to make sure you're showing them how they can get a free guide on how to hire the best contractor, right? That's what most people make the mistake with saying, let's say, to their regular website or something else that's not related to what the person originally clicked on the ad. Okay, this landing page is super simple. Okay, and again, this is something that we use. You can copy and paste exactly this. Download your free guide with 5 tips to make sure you hire the best contractor for your project. A very simple email capture form. Enter your email address below, and we'll send it right over. You can put your company logo on here, I I would only recommend doing that if you have a person in your company who really likes a logo. Again, the point is that once you put a logo somewhere, people's red flags go up, and they say, "Oh, I'm being sold to." Okay, you want to keep it still in the content realm where it's not threatening, it's not engaging. And I actually have a case study I'm gonna give you at the end of the webinar, actually, where the case study actually discusses doing this, how he actually doesn't brand his content again until after you have the email address, and then again the email. The marketing automation platform is where you're going to be starting to really build that relationship with them. Okay, also a very important point as well is look at the green area on this email capture form. You'll notice it says download the guide. And this is important. I'm just go back real quick to the ad. And you'll notice how in the right-hand corner, lower right-hand corner of the ad, it says download. This is actually very important. That you have a very specific language that's consistent throughout, because they need to know the call to action is I'm going to download something, and then they come here. Oh, okay, I got to click here to download it. Okay, again, this is basic website optimization psychology about how you follow through on that. Okay, and again, unless you have someone who really wants the company logo on here, I wouldn't put the logo up there. Okay, okay, fine. So just to sum up really quick what we've talked about here. Okay, this is the marketing where we're giving away what we call the zero friction offer. Why does this work? Okay, it offers the right information to them. It's not, it's a much wider segment, because this is going to be relevant to someone who's looking to remodel next week, right? To hire a modeling contractor next week or next month or in 6 months from now, versus someone who's looking to only hire right now. And you got to make sure your marketing gets them right now when they're interested. And then if they're not interested, you know, you're competing with your competitors on price, and that's not a good place to be. You want to build your relationship and market to these people properly. One thing also is important to note here is you'll notice that on the landing page, as well as on the Facebook ad, we have the phrase best contractor. Okay, and what's very interesting here is that they're going to download this, right, with tips and information on how to get the best contractor. And what this actually does, it psychologically links your company name in their mind with the phrase best contractor. So someone who's looking for the best contractor, like, again, psychologically, we've just implanted in their brain that it's you. And again, this takes you out of the price bidding war for people who are just competing on price. Like, ideally, you don't want to actually work with those clients. Because again, they're going to nickel and dime you the whole way. It's not going to be a pleasant experience. You want people who are looking for the best, and this is how we're going to use our marketing to make sure they come to you and not somebody else. All right, so that's the end of the first segment of the Facebook marketing strategy. We're now going to move into the second segment, which is building the foundation of our marketing house. Okay, so I'm going to start off by just telling a little story. I want you to imagine for a second that you're sitting in a coffee shop somewhere, and there's a couple behind you that starts up some type of a conversation that interests you. Okay, I don't know what they're talking about. Let's say they're talking politics, or they're talking, or they're yelling, or they're fighting. Something grabs your attention with what they say, and you turn around, you listen for a few minutes, and okay, it's interesting, and now it doesn't really, like, you're bored, you're done now. Now you go back to doing whatever it is that you want to do. But I want you to imagine now they're talking about something, and then they mention something that's very relevant to you. Okay, what are you going to do if, let's say, there's a conversation going on, all of a sudden you hear them mentioning that they're going to be ripping up a street to do work on the pipes on the street, and then they mention that it's a street that you live on. All of a sudden, you are very interested in what they're saying, and you're probably going to turn around and look at them and say, "Excuse me, did I just hear you say they're going to be ripping up, this street? Because I live on that street, and that's very relevant for me." Now, what's just happened here, versus the two scenarios, scenario A or scenario B, is that in scenario A, you've generated interest, but in scenario B, you have changed your plans. And what we want to do is, that's what we want to do with people with our marketing. We want to get them to change their plans. So here's how to get people's attention. Right? There's 3 steps to gain people's attention. We want to actually get their attention. We want to keep their attention, and then we want to ask them to take action. Okay, that's as true as I should have relabeled the slide. It should have been called "How to Get People to Do What You Want." That should be the real title of the slide. And again, that's what we want to do with our marketing. Okay, now most marketing advertising falls under the first step. It's designed to get attention. Okay, it's designed to, if you look at the most expensive marketing platform ever is the Super Bowl, where people are spending $2 million for a 30-second ad on the Super Bowl. And what people try to do is the next day, these companies come and they say, okay, we're going to sit down with a focus group and we're going to ask them, do you remember the ad? And do you remember which company was associated with it? Okay, maybe I do. And again, if they have what's called ad recall, a certain amount of it, then it goes up. That's considered good in their eyes. The problem with that is that this is only the first step of really bringing people to doing what you want them to do. And part of that is that you got their attention, but your authority is still very small in their eyes. And what we want to do with the Facebook ads is, again, get their attention, but once we get them into our marketing automation system, we want to use that now to nurture them as leads. And what we do is during that process, we take them through step 2 and step 3 as we build our authority. We get their attention, we keep their attention, and then we're going to ask them to take action, which is going to be to hire us to redo their kitchen or their deck or whatever. All right, so excuse me. So one thing that's important also to realize about the remodeling industry is, all right, you've probably heard of this company, House. In House's kind of state of the industry report, they wrote that the average homeowner takes 6 to 12 months of planning, right? That's 6 to 12 months of thinking about whatever project it is that I want to work on, and thinking about it and reading about it and going to websites and reading and learning, watching videos. And they're doing all this without hiring any contractors, or before they hire any contractors, before they even think about hiring a contractor. And what this actually represents is an opportunity for you, because that means the people are coming to your website. And again, if you think about our Facebook ad strategy, we're designed to get people in exactly this, not even 6 to 12 months, it's the tomorrow to 12 months range that they've expressed interest in remodeling their home. And we want to use our marketing platform to bring them in as clients. But if they're not ready now, we want to make sure they're ready when they're ready, and whatever it is, a week, 3 weeks, a month, 6 months, whatever it is. So what most people do is they do this. Okay, they set up an ad, they'll bring people to their website. If the guy happens to not be ready to hire the contractor, he leaves the site, and that's a missed opportunity. But what I don't want that to happen to you anymore. What I want to happen to you is this. Okay, I want the guy to come. Okay, we'll call this guy Bobby, whatever this guy's name is. He'll come, he'll visit your website. Again, he's not ready to hire a contractor, but he's going to enter his email address in exchange for educational information that we spoke about before. Okay, again, the relevant information that covers a much wider net of your potential market. He's then going to start receiving lead nurturing emails, warming him up. This is when he's going to learn about you. This, again, by the way, this is when you start telling them who you are, right? Now we're ABC Remodeling Company. If you have any questions, talk to us. Okay, this is the part where you're going to start building rapport, building a relationship with them, etc. And then when he's ready to hire you, you're top of mind, and you're an established authority. Again, going back to our process for building authority, you're an established authority in his mind, and when he's ready, he's going to come to you, and bam, you've now got a new client. Okay, so what we do, and what we do with our clients, is after the person's gone through the Facebook ads segment of the marketing strategy and has given us our email address, what we do is we now back that up with a number of marketing messages that we now send out via marketing automation via email. And this is exactly the list that we send out with our clients to their list. Again, it's been tested. This is an excellent list. Start writing down what you do. Start writing down the list here. But I'll go through it. It's very simple. The first email delivers the piece of content that they asked for. If they asked for a free guide on 5 ways to hire the best remodeler, this is the opportunity where we're going to give it to them. That's going to happen immediately after they enter their email address. The next day, we're going to reach out to them and say, hey, this is Bob from ABC Remodeling. We noticed that you were interested in our free guide on how to hire the best remodeler. Do you have any additional questions? We'd be happy to help you. Feel free to reach out. Again, what we're doing now is we've now moved from the realm of marketing to sales. And with sales, you're going to start building rapport, and you're going to start, they know about you now, and you also have a captive audience because you have their email address. You don't have to keep, again, it's going to a very specific targeted person. You're not putting up a banner on the side of the road hoping the same person's going to walk by it every single day. It's a totally different ball game and a way of building a relationship and marketing to your prospect. Okay, so email number 3 is a week after that, where we ask them the question, what's the biggest question you're having with your remodeling project? Hey, we have X number of years of experience. We've done a lot of remodeling projects just like yours. Feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to answer any questions you might have, okay? What you're doing, again, this whole process here is designed to warm them up to you and your company, and to, again, establish rapport. And what you're doing also here is you're not just positioning yourself as a friendly company, you're going to be positioning yourself as an authority because you're giving them information here that they view as relevant, etc., on top of the original piece of content that you've given them at the beginning of the process. Okay, a couple weeks later, things to keep in mind when designing your homes. Again, now we're gonna hit them with another value bomb email of useful information. It's, again, keeping you top of mind and pushing you upwards as an authority. Next one, need help. Number 6, are you still interested? What's holding you back? Okay, this is the overall outline. And very rarely do people get to the last message because they usually are clicking off before that point, saying, hey, that's when you get to the point where you get to these emails that we spoke about earlier in the webinar, where they said, hey, I want to talk to you guys about coming and doing a remodeling project for me. Okay, what are they? I'll read them to you. What do they say? Hi blank, we're ready to schedule an appointment. Do you have it available in the coming weeks? Hi blank, we'd like to talk to you about completely redesigning our kitchen and redoing the flooring and finishing our living room and dining room. Again, these are real emails of people who have contacted our clients and have won the business. I'm interested in talking to you guys about redoing our kitchen. I'm located in blank county. Again, obviously, I've blocked out all the relevant personal information from here. Okay, so that is the email segment. Okay, this is, by the way, the entire strategy. That's the Facebook strategy, and this is the email strategy. Combine them together, and bam, you have a very effective marketing strategy in place. Now, this kind of a bird's eye view. This is what we've covered so far. Is you're going to use your Facebook marketing and your ad on Facebook, bring them to your landing page, where you're going to give them your zero friction offer. And what they're doing in exchange for that is giving you the email address where you've now captured them as a lead. You're going to nurture them as a lead over the course of 4, 5, 6 months. And during that process, when they're ready, bam, they come to you and you make the sale. And that is really the goal. And that's really it. That's the entire strategy. Now, I wanted to talk to you. Okay, fine. I talked about this a minute ago. These are the emails that of what they look like when they finish with this process of emailing you, asking you when you can come by and talk to them about the project. Okay, so this is an interesting case study. I actually was not going to put this in the webinar because I didn't know about it. I just heard this yesterday, so I thought it was valuable because this is also a contractor who literally used this exact same strategy that I showed you today. And he was able to use the strategy and increase his business by 40% in 3 months by using this Facebook ad strategy. This is Adam Sand. He's from Edmonton, Alberta, with Sargent's Roofing. And again, I was listening to this and I was like, this is exactly what I'm going to be talking about on the webinar. I thought it was really cool. And if you would like a link to this case study, just shoot me an email. You can reply to any of the emails that I've sent out, and I will gladly send you the link to this case study. Again, proof that this works. And he actually said on the webinar that he used to be focusing on Google ads and SEO. He had been working with a company, and with the huge influx that he was having, or the huge success he was having with this Facebook ad strategy, he was actually in the process at the time of the webinar, at the time of the podcast interview, to actually get out of his contract with the company that was doing their SEO for them, because he wanted to focus exclusively on building his business with Facebook ads. Okay, fine. So here are the action items I want you to do after this webinar. Okay, it's 4 steps. I want you to go and create your free guide. I want you to go and create your zero friction offer, whatever it might be. What we find it works very well is five something. We find, let's say, 5 things to know when hiring a contractor to make sure you hire the best contractor. Works very well in the remodeling industry. After you do that, I want you to go to step number 2 and set up your Facebook campaign. Again, we lay out exactly what you need to do in this webinar. You can literally just plug in the items that are relevant for you in your specific city, and you will be able to target everyone in your area who is interested in remodeling, and then do the ad exactly as we showed you, and the landing page exactly as we showed you, and that's gonna be what you'll do for step 2. Step 3 is write your follow-up emails and follow the exact outline that we just showed. Again, I'm giving exactly away what you should do. Right? There's nothing, I'm not hiding anything here. Step by step is what you should be doing. And after you've written your emails, you should set it up in some type of an email marketing software. We recommend Aweber. If you have another one that you like, you can use that as well. And literally that's it. That is the entire strategy laid out for you. And it's just an incredibly effective strategy. And you should move forward with. Now, you can move forward with what you have learned in this webinar. If you want to take this to a step further and work directly with me, we can set up a free strategy session with me. Again, it's free. We'll get on the phone for half an hour. There's no commitment whatsoever, and we'll talk to you about how you can do this in your webinar. If it's a good fit, you can decide if you want to move forward with me. If not, you can take what we talk about both in this webinar and our phone conversation and run with it as needed. So go to gabyzeitland.com/strategy. Fill out the application. Just in terms of my time, I don't work with everyone. There are specific criteria you need to fill out to work with me. So just fill it out, and then below that you'll fill out a time segment to that I'm available. You can pick out the time for me for your call, and that's it. All right. So sign up for your strategy session. Go to gabyzeitland.com/strategy. Are there any questions on what we spoke about on today's webinar? By the way, if you've gone to the link, it's gabyzeitland.com/live. That will take you to the webinar link. And below the webinar video, you can put in your name, and you can, there's a little chat box down there, and you can submit questions that way. All right.